All right, so I've cut the resonator pipe down to length here, and I've cleaned up the edge so that it doesn't have any burrs on here. And so what the plan is here is we're going to use this expander to expand this pipe so that we can receive the down pipe. The down pipe will go into here. The objective here is to make the pipe have kind of a flange like this so that it can expand, and then the down pipe will go in like this, right? This will also give you a little bit of play so that you can get a good adjustment in there. This expander, if you can see here, gives you about this much of expansion. When you put it in there, it'll come out to here, so it'll be expanded to there, and that will give us plenty of room to put the pipe in, a couple varying different locations. And then once we get all that expanded, then we'll just use a standard pipe clamp and clamp it over the top, and that will squeeze this expanded section back down and grab onto it. So that's the plan. What we got here is this OEM tailpipe expander. It's available at AutoZone. You can rent these. It's really inexpensive to rent it. You get it right back. Get your money back when you after you return it. The trick is to return it unbroken. So the way these work is you can see there's a wedge on either side, and then it has a series of these rails that when you tighten it, the wedges push those rails outward. Can you see how that's going outward? Like that? Okay, so that's how that works. These rubber O-rings here keep everything kind of centered, but they also keep it from spinning when you're tightening it. So once you get it in there, you want to engage these little rubber O-rings on the inside of the pipe so that it doesn't spin. And we can just go at it with an impact wrench and go, a reasonable rate. Don't want to break anything. But we'll go ahead and expand these. Let's get started on this. All right, seems pretty tight. And I see I got this in my in my bench. I didn't want to put any clamping on it, to make any scratches or anything. But this table grabs onto the resonator itself, so the whole thing isn't gonna twist that much. All right, so you see a little bit of deflection in there, but I don't think it has made that much. We're gonna throw a little bit of lubrication in these wedges just to give it a little help. We'll make a mess of it. All right, let's see if that helps. All right. Well, we're certainly seeing some changes in the pipe. I don't know if you can see there's a the pipe is less round. It's creating a bit of an octagonal look to it, but it's definitely, you can start to see a little bit of an expansion happening there. Let's see if it's changed in dimensions at all. Only slightly. All right, going back at it. I just wanted to make sure I don't break anything, and I don't want to have to buy this thing because it's rented. So there we go. Not too much oil getting on everything. All right. What the hell? All right, so I had a little mishap there. This wedge piece got kind of stuck and it started spinning instead of pushing forward. So we're going to give this another try, but I'm going to do it in smaller sections. Instead of going the whole length where I think there's a whole lot of pressure on that, I'm going to do it in smaller sections, and we'll see if we can convince it to do less work, and see if we can get that to work a little better. And I think I'm going to try without the impact wrench. Convince it forward a little bit at a time. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't like the way that that's moving. Go in the right direction. All right. Well, you can start to feel it. I just don't like what I'm feeling here. It's I don't want to break the tool, and it's not progressing like I want. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually tighten this. And then just kind of beat it up a little. All right, so these pipe expanders are intended to be used with mild steel. Evidently, Monza makes a much better product, and the steel on this pipe is not giving away. And so instead of breaking this, I'm already starting to stress the threads on it. Instead of breaking this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to manually tighten it a little every time, and then I'm going to use this as a portable anvil, and I'm just going to bang on it until it starts to stretch the metal a little bit, and then we'll tighten it again, and then I'll bang on it and tighten it and bang on it and tighten it. So just FYI, these are really only designed to work with mild steel, really stuff that will stretch better. This is not stretching, so I don't want to have to buy this tool after it's broken. I'd much rather buy a tool that works. I'm going to go ahead and proceed as if this is just a manual metal stretching kind of situation here, just like when I repaired that pipe. Well, that turned out to be a bad idea, because I've broken these two little shims right here. If you can see, these two here are broken. Well, on to the next thing. All right, so the pipe expander didn't work, and banging on it only made some small progress by thinning the metal a little bit, but it was laborsome. And it's gotten a little bit thicker here, but you know, I'm not the one to give up. So in a previous video, I did an example of how to use sockets to run down through pipes and clear out when pipes are jammed or smashed. And so this is the same tool. I put a 1-inch socket on here. You can see the big number 1 right there. And obviously this is way bigger than that, right? So, but what we're going to do here is, I think one of the reasons why the expander wasn't working is it was expanding on the whole pipe at once. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my my little air hammer here, and I'm going to put this spike on there. This spike is just a little bit bigger than the 1-inch. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it through at different places and just expand it as it goes, and we'll create the gap that we need, little bits at a time, and it'll just expand, along the sections of the pipe. It's going to get noisy, so I'll probably speed up the video from here, but this is a complete experiment, and I hope it works, because if that's the case, this is a really cost-effective way of expanding a little bit of pipe. Well, it certainly does stretch it. Now we gotta make sure we keep it formed so that it's nice and round. But you can feel that it's definitely stretching the metal out here. All right, that seems to be working pretty well. I got it back to round here. See, my target is inside diameter of about 1 3/4. And I currently have just under. I have like an 1/8 yet to go. So I'm getting close. Just gotta keep going at it, and we'll get to that point. Stretch this side a little bit this time. All right, so here you go. This is, I'm going to call the finished product. It's about 1.5 inches of stretched tubing. The methodology that we ended up using there, the expander didn't work. I think this is probably stronger material than what it was designed to be used for. And that's good because, you know, it's always good to get better products. But you can see I've sanded it out just to make sure that if there are any burrs or anything in there, those are all removed. So the breakdown here was use this 1-inch socket like that, and then drove little expansion slots alongside in different areas with this pick attachment on my impact driver, and that took it way out of round. So what we ended up doing to put it back in round was I have this plumbing tool. It's kind of a hex, and I ran that in there, and I got it back to round. And then when we finally got it to the point where we were finishing, I used a piece of pipe and tapped around with the pipe in there to make it nice and round. So, you know, I'm sure there's more professional ways of doing this. And I think the default for most folks is to just buy a union and connect the two. But I wanted to do an expansion, so I didn't have so many joints up underneath the car. And so this is, I think, going to work. This is going to be a separate video. I don't. This will be an addendum to another video that I'm working on the exhaust for the 77 MGB. So as soon as we get that done, you'll see the other video on that for the entire exhaust installation.